Hello and welcome to yet another unscripted handheld rant session. Because my fucking god, people, I love physical media, okay? I love that shit to death. Because this show is not anywhere on any streaming service that exists. And the only way I was able to get the entire collection of this show was to scroll the internet and find a collection that came from the fucking Western Australian Library. And the other day, I found this, the entire collection of Samurai Jack. This is worth $200 on eBay, and I found it for $5 in an op shop. With the recent flop of Concord, and the fact that they're literally stealing digital copies from people's fucking PS5s and whatever, there's this, and like, they're telling people who have physical copies of Concord, oh, you should give it back for a refund. No! Keep it! Don't get rid of it, keep it! Because it is media that is going to be lost fucking forever, just like the Grand Tour game and PT. And Over the Garden Wall being removed from Hulu. The last place you can legally watch the show without buying a really expensive DVD collection. It's bullshit. And Disney's no longer making physical releases for Australia. You have to go on their shitty fucking streaming service where they don't even have everything on. You have to waste money to watch shows. I'm so fucking pissed off, man. And like my dad's just recently got a new computer. He doesn't want to like rebuy licenses, and he's got original discs of old Adobe products, but every time he tries to use them, Adobe's like, no, you can't use that. Use our new shit that has AI injected into it. Well, I don't want to use that shit. Let me use the original software on this disc without this new crap. Thank you very much. I'm so sick of streaming services and digital releases because they can just be wiped completely without warning and without consent. This is exactly why I believe piracy is preservation, because with piracy, the shit still exists. On these streaming services, on these digital platforms, it can just get yoinked. But, ooh, copyright! Who gives a fuck about copyright if that shit is going to disappear completely? This show, right, this show was my fucking childhood. This show that only got one season because the creator died. This show was on Cartoon Network and CNN and like all these other things, and that was taken off because, oh, we need to move on to new shows. I had to get it in a disc compilation in order to actually watch it, because there's no streaming services that have this show on it. I wasted like over $100 trying to get this. There's like a whole story about like a person sending me the wrong discs and stuff, but I finally got the show after so fucking long. Because it's so hard to find the complete series of Bolts and Blip anywhere. You can't pirate it. You have to get physical DVD releases that have basically been wiped off the face of the planet in order to watch the fucking show legally. It's really seriously annoying and really sad because Infinity Train got yoinked, and even the creators of their own show had to pirate it in order to watch what they created. If the creator of the show has to pirate their own show in order to watch it because your greedy asses yoinked it off of the platform, you fucked up. And there are certain games that no longer come in physical releases or digital releases that you have to pirate just to play. Transformers the game, 2007. That has to be pirated in order to be able to play. Like, all this media that is just getting lost. Either because they don't want to produce physical copies, or they just yoink that shit off of the service that they're uploaded into. And they get mad about people stealing it. Well, you're stealing it away from us and making it inaccessible. Get your priorities straight. For fuck's sake. It's so annoying. It's so annoying, and it's heartbreaking that people literally have to go to illegal means in order to just watch or play something because the companies that own it just decided, it failed. We're going to just take it off the shelves and bury it. Well, some people still like it and still want to be able to access it, you fucking morons. Like, I get, like, that profits is important, but seriously? Destroying and getting rid of media is not the solution. This show, right? The creator fucking died, so he couldn't get a season 2. And it was so hard to get the last few episodes in disc form. I had to buy an entire DVD collection, because I used to have a collection where I only had 3 discs, with like 3/4 of the show on it. And then it took forever to find this, which is all of the show. Because you can't find it on any streaming services. And like, you try to buy DVDs, and like it's region locked because you're Australian, you can't watch this American thing. Well, we didn't get it in Australia. What am I supposed to do? And then you have to pirate it in order to be able to watch it because it's just region locked. And like, we don't have the money in this economic crisis to pay for all these billions of streaming services and the internet to go with it. So, every time I go to an op shop, I look for shit. Which is what happened when I stumbled across the entire collection of Samurai Jack. It's all there. All the discs are undamaged. I don't have to pay for a streaming service to watch the entirety of Samurai Jack because I can hold it in my hand. I can put this in my DVD player. Watch it, rewatch it, rewind, pause to my heart's content because I can fucking hold it in my hand. Peep the Samurai Jack skate deck that I made in like 2019. And you know, the limited edition Samurai Jack fucking pop figurines that my mum somehow tracked down because these were like Comic-Con exclusives or something. Like big Samurai Jack fan, unable to get the whole show, and then one day, oh, there it is in that bookcase. Go online, $200 this disc set is worth. Because it's rare. Physical media is rare nowadays. And I work in an op shop, right, sometimes on Saturday. And recently, I went into the back to like dispose of some actual rubbish, and then I look into the bin and I find a bunch of VHS tapes. They're throwing out VHS tapes that are undamaged and brand new simply because people don't use VHS tapes anymore. We've got a VHS tape player. We sometimes watch VHS tapes. We could have had those, but no, they just had to throw them in the bin and break them. Makes 0 sense. Like, what happened to preserving stuff? This is why I love the Internet Archive. Shout out to the Internet Archive for keeping and preserving stuff that gets yoinked all the time. Go donate to them. I'm literally so mad. Like, I woke up this morning to find people panicking like, oh my gosh, Over the Garden Wall is getting taken up with Hulu. And it just sent me into a fucking spiral. I'm very passionate about physical media and the preservation of media. And like this is why, because like if shit gets yoinked and there's no other way to watch it, you have to pirate, and then it's like you're breaking the law if you pirate it. And like it should be against the law to remove media from a platform so then you can discourage piracy. Like I have like an entire like DVD cabinet like full of like old DVDs and stuff. I've got the entire Monster High movie collection, including 2 films from Generation 2. I'm never getting rid of those. And I am not getting rid of these either. I'm not getting rid of any of my Generation 1 Monster High dolls. Number 1, they are my childhood. Number 2, this shit. These are fucking expensive. My mum went on eBay the other day, and a boxed Generation 1 Claudine went for $2,000 fucking dollars. Inaccessible. I'm keeping them. Fuck off, you scalpers. And I've got quite a few other movies, like the Moshi Monsters movie. Moshi Monsters died the moment that Flash died. And I'm keeping the Moshi Monsters movie because that was my childhood. And you can't watch the Moshi Monsters movie anywhere, so I'm keeping it on my DVD. Like, I'm so sick of like digital releases. Oh, and theaters? Oh, don't go to the theater. Stay at home and watch this newly released movie. I don't have the streaming services to watch Beetlejuice at home. I want to watch it in the fucking theaters. Come on. I want to watch Transformers in the fucking theaters. I want to watch anything in the theaters instead of having it on my screen at home. It ruins the experience of watching a new movie. Like, I went to the theaters and I watched Avatar 2, right? Gorgeous film on the big screen. The speakers, you were really fully immersed in the movie. And I didn't even realize that 3 hours had passed. Because, like, I was just that immersed in, like, everything. And I remember I watched Frankenweenie in the theaters as well. Like, hearing other people cry at certain parts along with me was really surreal. And the FNAF movie. What I liked with the FNAF movie is that you could go to the theaters and watch it, or you could do it at home. You could choose. I just spat everywhere. Oh my god, I'm so gross. But you could choose to either watch it at home or at the theater. And I watched it at the theater with my friends as like a friend thing that we could do for like the break, and it's like it was really cool because you could hear other people's reactions, and it made it so much better and so much more memorable than just sitting at home and watching it because it's boring. Like I've also got the FNAF movie in DVD form, and I get to watch it anytime I want, and I get to look at the details because it's in 4K HD. 4K HD. But yeah, it's in digital form. I don't have to go to streaming services to look at it because like the movie jumped from streaming service to streaming service. It was on Peacock and went to Amazon for some reason. But I've just got it in my cabinet. I don't have to go searching across different streaming services to chase this movie down. It's just in my DVD cabinet where I could pull it out and watch it whenever I want to without having to pay a single cent for a streaming service or the internet. Same with this. I don't have to chase this around either. I don't have to chase any of my films or movies around because they're in physical form in an easily accessible spot in my house. And I can just watch them whenever I want to. And the special features come with it as well because on streaming services they get rid of the special features and shit. I've got the discs for both of the 2 Scooby-Doo live-action films, and the special features on that is really cool because you get to see how the CGI is done, and there's like a commentary track from the cast, and it's really fun. But if you want to stream it, it doesn't come with special features, which is awful. Oh, and DVD menus have gotten worse as well because it's not on a streaming service. Let's just make this menu really boring. because the FNAF movie menu was really fucking boring. They needed to be more creative with that. I've got all the Cars films, and the first Cars film had a really cool menu where it had like clips playing and music playing. And then the FNAF movie menu was just a still image and like a line of different buttons, and it's like, this is boring. So what they should have done with the FNAF movie menu is like have it as it is in the game with like the different buttons and like the security camera thing. That would have been way more interesting than just a still image and buttons. Like, streaming services is just a cancer. Like, oh, convenience. Well, it's not convenient, because you need to pay for the streaming service and the internet. Whereas with a DVD, you have to pay for it once, and you don't have to worry about the internet. It's there, you can hold it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And this is what also makes me really pissed about, like, digital releases of games. Because they yoink them and you can't play them anymore. Which is why I was so pissed because of Concord. Because, like, I get that the game wasn't a major success, right? But there's no reason to just yoink it after one singular fucking week. You gave it a digital release and a physical release, and then after a week you're like, no, we're going to steal all the digital releases without consent, and we're going to force people who have physical copies to send them back to get a refund. One singular week! You didn't even give it a fucking month, you just yoinked it after a week! A week! Are you serious? The Grand Tour game lasted for 18 months before getting yoinked. And that didn't do great, but it survived for longer than a fucking week. We didn't even have a physical release for the Grand Tour game. It was all digital. It wasn't yoinked, but all the online features were. And the only way you can play that game is if you have it on the original hardware. I did an entire video on this. Why am I redoing this? I'm just so fucking annoyed. Like, you wake up, right? It's school holidays over here in Australia. I don't have to go to TAFE for 2 weeks. I wake up expecting to have a good, nice, relaxing day where I can just watch Transformers. But no! People were getting really pissed off at these companies yoinking shows and movies off of streaming services. They're taking fucking Voltron off of Netflix! Voltron was a DreamWorks thing that was exclusive to Netflix, and now Netflix wants to take it away. It makes no sense! Why are you doing that? For fuck's sake. We can't have nice things anymore, apparently. We can't have media that sticks around anymore. It's either you enjoy it and it stays, or it does mediocre and it gets fucking destroyed and deleted to never be seen again by the public. And then they want to replace all the workers with AI and make all this sloppy shit that they think is going to do exponentially better than the work of hundreds of passionate individuals. Fucking James Cameron is pro-AI. Michael Bay is against AI, but James Cameron is like, oh yes, we like that. Piss off, you old cunt. My god, your entire Avatar franchise was built on the shoulders of talented VFX artists. And you want to throw them away in favor of AI? Are you serious? All this AI bullshit. There's AI injected into everything. You can't buy a new phone without it having AI implemented onto it. You can't have a new fucking computer without AI injected into it. I had to hack into this computer that I'm using right now to get rid of Copilot and Recall so my data would be protected from Microsoft. And I'm so glad that I got my computer when I did, because I have a perpetual license for all of Microsoft's stuff, and I don't have to pay a subscription, unlike everyone else who bought it later. I never grew up with any like consoles or anything, but I understand the frustration that people who have consoles are going through, and I understand completely. Just having something just taken from you without your consent. Like, I've been seeing posts on Twitter where people are like, oh my god, PlayStation just took my copy of Concord off of my device without consent. Like, it's shitty. It shouldn't be allowed to happen, but it does. And, like, I've been trying to find discs of Top Gear, but you can't really get them. But I know you can watch Top Gear on Tubi in certain countries, but you can't watch it on Tubi over here in Australia. I can watch James May's Toy Stories and the James May's Man Lab on Tubi over here. It's also reposted on YouTube, but meh, it's not the same as watching Top Gear on Tubi, which I need to find a proper VPN to be able to do that, because finding discs of Top Gear is really hard. I've only got the Polar Special, the Africa Special, Top Gear Revved Up, and 2 promo discs from the Top Gear magazine. And I found those in op shops, like thrift stores, that people just like get rid of stuff. I'm seeing an influx of like Harry Potter being donated because J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit. But like, there's no Top Gear stuff because people are either buying it up or they just don't want to donate it because the 3 idiots are not doing TV anymore and people want to preserve the memory of these 3 old men. But do you have the Top Gear board game? Because I've got the Top Gear board game. I'm not sure if it's completely there, but it's there. And that's not going to get yoinked from me because it's not a digital release. It's a physical thing with like physical pieces in a physical box. And I haven't touched it because I want to keep the integrity of the thing. I bought it years ago. But yeah, this whole thing with like digital releases, it's bullshit. And like, these companies are getting really pissed off because, oh, our movie didn't make that much money when it released. Well, you didn't have it in theaters. Now, you love. Now, you. If you put it on a streaming service, you're gonna make less money because people aren't buying tickets to watch the thing. They're instead watching it on a pre-existing fucking subscription, you fucking idiot. My god. It doesn't take a fucking genius to figure it out. Oh, blah 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 marketing team. Bro, I did not want to see Bumblebee doing the fucking apple dance.
It's rat summer, baby!
I think the apple's rotten right to the core. From all the things must come from all the apples coming before. I spit the apple down symmetrical lines. So what I find is kinda scary, makes me just wanna drive.
Like, living in Australia, right? It's like different time zones. And it's like, it said the Grand Tour, the last episode of the Grand Tour would be releasing on the 13th of September. But over here it was the 14th because different time zones. Like, I was sitting there for like the entirety of the 13th of September, like at work, waiting for the thing to drop, and it's like, no, JK, it's American time. I wanted to strangle them. Like, you have to specify which time zone it applies to, because there I was at work waiting for it to release, and it didn't fucking release. And it's like, I wake up the next day and it's like, oh, it's released now. It's like, what? Exact words from me. Just. So anyway, Physical media is important. And if you don't believe so, go away. We don't like it. Go away. Physical media is important, preservation is important, piracy is important for preservation, no matter what you say. I don't give a fuck. Yell at the courts, yell at the streaming services, yell at the companies for yoinking stuff, which then causes people to pirate because there's no other way to watch stuff. You can't watch Infinity Train legally anymore, you gotta pirate it. You can't play Transformers the game anymore because they don't send physical copies or digital copies anymore. You have to pirate it. And you can't stream Bolts and Blip anywhere because it never got put on any streaming services and it was only in DVD releases after the run was done on TV. So you gotta waste $100 to buy a DVD collection. It took like, I can't remember, it took a really long time just to get this fucking thing. Rant over! My voice is going!